Professor Devendra who are behind this workshop. This is like basically the Anwar idea, and Devendra like this idea. That's why we like coordinated. I'm Dr. Nausheen from Institute of Information Management, University of Punjab, and your moderator for today's session. The theme of session is how to publish your article in an impact factor journal. Basically, academicians, researchers, and experts in the field are interested to get published in academic and scholarly journals, specifically impact factor journal. But the scholarly journals and impact factor journals have low acceptance rate. If you want to publish articles in impact factor journal for a job or a promotion, or you want to disseminate your work or research findings to wider audience, or to contribute to the intellectual discussion or scientific debate, or to generate new knowledge, or you are passionate about your subject area, believe me, this session is for you. It will guide you about the selecting suitable journal. This is a very big question for researchers. Developing your manuscript, formatting and submission of manuscript, reviewing and publishing process, addressing reviewer comments, and enhance your probability to get published in high impact factor journal. We are lucky to have Dr. Khalid Mahmood with us. He is a professor of information management and Dean Faculty of Information and Media Studies in University of the Punjab, Pakistan. He is the most prolific author of the field in Pakistan. He has more than 30-year teaching and research experience. He did his postdoc from UCLA, California. He has like many things on his credit, and I'm lucky that he is my teacher, he is my mentor, and even he is my colleague and boss. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nausheen, and your colleagues from ASIS&T SIG-III. Let me share the screen here. So, Nausheen, if you confirm that you can see my presentation
yes,
here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. So today's topic is how to publish your article or your research in the very reputed journals like impact factor journals. So it is about me. So Dr. Nausheen has introduced me in very good words. So a research journal is called an academic journal or a scholarly journal. So a periodical or serial publication that contains articles or papers written by experts in a particular field of study who report the results of research in that field. The articles are intended to be read by other experts or students of the field, and they are typically much more sophisticated and advanced than the articles found in general magazines. So here is the question that why do we want to publish our research in a scholarly journal? So the answer is the journals or research journals are the most popular and the most prestigious way of sharing our research results with other people, and its history is almost about 100 years or so. So these journals have become the most prolific and most popular source of disseminating knowledge with others. How many journals are there in the world? So the largest directory which has published a list of journals, it is Ulrich's Web Global Serials Directory. Its printed version was started in 1932, and nowadays its web portal is available. So it has more than 300,000 serials published by more than 90,000 publishers. And these serials have research journals as well as other magazines and newspapers also. It covers more than 950 subject areas, and regarding the more than 200 languages of the world. So here is another list of journals here. This is a report of STM 2021. So it shows that there are more than 48,000 scholarly journals in the world, out of which 35,000 plus were in English, publishing over 4.7 million articles per year, and this growth rate is 6.5% per year. Virtually all of the journals are available online these days. The largest subject area is biomedical sciences, which covers 30% of the total, and the smallest area is arts and humanities, which covers only 5%. China produced 19% of the articles, so it is number one in the world, followed by USA, India, UK, Germany, Japan, and so on. Journals with an impact factor. So impact factor is a technical term. Journals included in Journal Citation Reports, JCR. So JCR is a popular platform or a popular list issued and maintained by Clarivate Analytics. So it is accessible from the Web of Science. It was previously maintained by the Institute for Scientific Information, ISI. So that's why this list normally is known as ISI Web of Science or ISI journals. There are many indexes, citation indexes over there, but the journals included in these two citation indexes are called impact factor journals. The first is the Science Citation Index Expanded, and the second is Social Sciences Citation Index. So it means that the journals published in arts and humanities areas are not allocated impact factor. So there are 171 subject categories in sciences and 34 categories in social sciences. So this list has included more than 12,000 journals after a stringent evaluation process. So we can say that these journals included in the Journal Citation Reports, so these are more than 12,000 journals. So we can say that these journals are the most prestigious journals in the world. So what is an impact factor? So originally developed by Dr. Eugene Garfield and Dr. Irving H. Sher, it is a ratio which divides a journal's received citations by account of its published articles. So citations to the journal in the JCR year to items published in the previous 2 years divided by the total number of scholarly items published in the previous 2 years. So it is a formula calculated by them, and normally they publish this list every year in the end of June. So in coming days we are expecting that this year's list will be available by the end of this month. So look at the figure below. So if we discuss with the year of 2020 is the JCR year. So it was published in June 2021. So the articles were published in previous 2 years, in 2018 and 2019. So look at the formula here. So here is the formula. This year we will have the 2022 JF. So look at the formula. Citations in 2022 to items published in 2020 plus 2021 divided by number of articles and reviews published in 2020 and 2021. So it is citations, the total citations divided by the total articles in the previous 2 years. So this is the formula. This is an impression from the JCR journals list. So here you can see the journals list. You can filter this list in your searching by JCR or by your by subject categories or by database or by country and something like that. So here is a sample journal entry in the JCR. So the journal name is this, and the publisher name and address, and the subject category it covers. And in the below section, you can see the total sites and journal impact factor of many previous years, and many other metrics also you can see here. So that was the introduction of impact factor journals or impact factor formula. So now we come to the publishing process. So first of all, we should have a clear objective in our minds that why we want to write something and publish something. So here is an example of some possible objectives. So sometime we have a research grant and we have to publish something from that research. It is a requirement from the granting or funding agency, and sometime we want to have a job or a promotion in our professional or academic career. So sometime we want to disseminate our work or our research findings to a particular audience, and sometimes we research to have political, social or scientific implications for change. Sometimes we have to contribute to intellectual discussion or scientific debate. So sometimes we have to generate new knowledge, and sometimes we are passionate about our subject area and are compelled to write. So we have to have some of these clear objectives in our mind, because doing research and publishing it is not an easy task. So it can have your attention, it needs your money, it needs your hard work. So in the process of writing and publishing, so there might be many hurdles, and you have to overcome those hurdles. So the clear objective must be there. Then if you have decided to write something, so the first step is to how to select a suitable journal. So first of all, you should look at your reference list. So if you have written an article, and at the end of your article you have a list of references, so look at the references and you will find the most suitable journal there. So if you have cited some articles from other journals, so those journals are the most relevant to your article. Then you can ask your colleagues for advice, and specifically your senior colleagues in your area. So sometimes you have to think about who will want to read your paper. So know about your audience. Read papers from shortlisted journals. So you should see the sample papers also. So you can put your short list of journals in rank order from first choice to last choice. And normally we make this rank order list by the highest impact factor to the lowest impact factor, and discuss your choice of journals with your co-authors. So in this way you can select a suitable journal for your article. Normally you have to see the criteria for journal selection. So there are many points. You can see the subject scope of the journal, the refereeing system, so whether that journal is refereed or not, or it is blind refereeing, or it is a double blind refereeing or single blind refereeing. So you have to see the impact factor, so whether it is more or less. You have to see the circulation of the publication or circulation of the journal. So how many people or how many libraries are purchasing or subscribing that journal. You can see the time lag, so how much time they take to publish your article. You have to see the reputation of editors, whether they are professors or professionals. You have to see the professional versus commercial ownership. So some journals are published by commercial publishers and the others are published by the professional organizations, just like IFLA in our field. The quality of production is very important in this regard. And at the last but not the least, the article publishing charges. So it is very common these days. So how much money, how much price they are charging from the authors. Here are some points of errors in selecting a journal. So as Dr. Nasheen has pointed out that there is a big rejection rate in the good journals. So here are some points. Overestimating the actual scientific contribution of the study. So sometimes we overestimate the scientific contribution. So in the eyes of the writer, eyes of the author, your article is very good or very prestigious, but actually it is not in the eyes of the other people. Overestimating the originality of the research. So your research must be original in its nature. Considering the impact factor as the sole criterion for selection. So sometime you have to publish in an impact factor journal, but in other cases you don't have to publish in your impact factor journal. So it depends on your need. So choosing a general journal when the subject of the article is specialized. So I would suggest that you always select a specialized journal in a narrow subject area. So there are more chances to publish your research. So failing to consider the field of interest of the journal's readership. So readers always know your audience and readership. So it is always a considerable point. Failing to consider open access journals, which are sometimes the best option. So open access is costly. They have a price for you, but sometimes they are ready to publish your article in a short span of time. So believing that having published in the journal in the past guarantees acceptance. So sometimes we have an experience, our past experience in publishing in a specific journal. So sometimes we think that that journal will be ready to publish your article looking at your name, but it is not always good or always not possible. Believing that knowing the editor or someone in the editorial team guarantees acceptance. So the editor or the members of editorial team, sometimes they are your friends, they are your colleagues, but as far as the article publishing is concerned, they always look at your articles professionally. So they professionally evaluate your research and decide about its publication. So first of all, you have to budget your time and energy for writing. So you will make a first draft and then reviewing the first draft, and then you will have a second draft, and you must get feedback from your colleagues and especially from your senior colleagues, and at the end you will have the final draft with you. So contents of a research paper, normally here is a list. So these are general contents. So look at this list. So it depends on the specific journals which you are targeting, but normally an article has these components. So format of a paper, who will decide the format? So it will be determined by the journal. It will be decided by the specific journal which you are targeting for publishing. So first of all, you will have to look at the website for information. So you will find on the journal's website the guidelines for authors. So you will see the differences from journal to journal. Normally in these areas, styles of references, tables and figures, line spacing, font, word limit is there always, and writing style, whether it should be British English or it is American English or something like that. So you will find the differences on the journal's website. So you will get the information from the journal's website. So now you will have to submit your manuscript in a specific journals. So you will read the guidelines for authors first of all, and then you will resolve ethical issues. So normally ethical issues include number and order of authors, who will be the first author, who will be the second, third and last author, who will be the corresponding author. So sometimes you will have to write the contributions, specific contributions of each author, and sometimes you have to give the information regarding funding agencies. Acknowledgements you will have to give there. You should resolve or you should declare the conflict of interest if there are any, and access to data. So you can show in your article that the data or the raw data will be available from such and such website. So there is a process of submission. Usually nowadays it is always online submission to the journals. So you will sign up for new submission and you will create an account for that purpose. So information on authors, affiliations, contacts, interests, etc. You will enter all these informations in that portal, and you will upload the parts of the article. Normally your title page is in a separate file, and the main body in another file, and tables and figures are in different files. So they will guide you that how many files you have to upload, and normally you will draft a cover letter for the editor, and you will request that here is my paper and I want to publish it in your prestigious journal. So when you upload your article or parts of your article and give all other information, so an auto-generated confirmation or acknowledgement email will be in your inbox. So it will be auto-generated, so it will take no time. So here is the review process. So if you look at this figure, so you will submit your article, they will give you the feedback. So I have written all the steps here. So when you submit your article, so first of all it will be scanned by the editor or editorial team. So they will decide that it should be sent to the reviewers or not. So at this stage they can reject your article with any reason. So normally the reason of rejection here is the out of scope. The scope of the journal is not relevant to your article. So if they select your journal for review, then they will select the reviewers. So they normally they have a list of reviewers with them, or sometime some publishers will ask you to give names of some reviewers. So they normally nowadays there is a double blind review. So the author does not know that who will review my paper, and the reviewer does not know that who is the author of this paper. So it is called double blind review. So normally they take 12 months at least for review. So after review they will give you or communicate you the decision of the reviewers. So normally the decisions may be one of these options. So your paper can be accepted or can be rejected, or in most of the cases you will have some revisions. So revision might be minor or major, but most of the cases you will have revisions. So you will submit your revised paper, and they will decide it finally that your paper is accepted, or sometime they will ask you for further revisions. So normally criteria for judging a paper is this. Does the article add to what is already known? So your research is always an addition to the existing knowledge. So is the article demonstrably related to what has been previously written? Are the arguments employed valid in terms of the body of knowledge? Is the article easy to read? So one must learn the academic writing before writing an article. Do the arguments flow logically? Are the conclusions strong? So normally all these points should be kept in mind in writing an article. So here you can find a performer for reviewers. So here you will see that on the left side there are 10 points for the consideration of the reviewer, and on the right side you can see an answer grid. So not applicable, definitely not, no, neutral, yes, definitely yes. So all these 10 points are relevant to the quality of your journal. And in the lower part of this figure you can see the decision. So decisions might be accept with no revisions, or with minor revisions, or with major revisions, or in case of rejection, rework and resubmit, rework and submit to another journal, or article appears to be unpublishable, so it is totally rejected. So normally this kind of form, nowadays this kind of form is online available on the website of the publisher for reviewers. So all the process is done electronically. So how you can handle the reviewers' comments? So you have to make adjustments and attach explanation, and you should not feel obligated to make all recommended changes. So sometimes the revision changes are not possible for you or not doable for you, so you disagree with the reviewers' comments. And specifically here, don't take comments personally. So actually the editors and the reviewers are helping you to make your draft in a good condition or in a good quality. So be polite always in your correspondence. So we should say thanks to always to the editors and reviewers. So they are helping us. So here is the publishing process. So publishing process here is when they accept your article, so they will ask for paying for publication if there is any fee, any author charges. So if it is free, then this step is skipped, and then they will send you a copyright agreement. So you will have to sign it, and your author, all the authors have to sign it. And nowadays this process is also online, and then they will make the editing process of your article. So they will read it, sometime make the language better, and they will format your article according to the journal's approved format. And some publishers will send you the proof of the article, and normally in this case they will give you a very few hours, sometimes 24 hours or sometimes 48 hours to read your paper for the purpose of proofreading. And then they will print your article. Printing means not only here is printing means the paper printing. Normally they will put your article on the journal's website, and in most of the cases it is early publication without assigning the page numbers and assigning volume number or issue number to your article. So your article is available for use and even for citation many months before the actual allocation of issue number. So when it is available, they will send you an email as author that your article is available, and sometime they will send you a link for sharing with the other people. So here I am done here. So best of luck for your publishing career. So if some of you have any question regarding publishing in good journals or particularly impact factor journals, so I'm here before the start of the presentation of Mr. Shakil. So if you have any questions, so yes, Professor Nasheen.
Thank you, sir. This is an amazing talk. Thanks for sharing your insight on the topic and enlightening us with all the details of publishing process. Any questions? Otherwise, I have a couple of questions if you don't have.
No, okay. So you are most welcome. You are most welcome. Most welcome.
Dr. Mahmood, yeah, I have just one queries in my mind. Like, just I want to make it clear.
Yes.
So the way we talk, like the impact factor journal things. So if we like set the criteria, like like you have to publish in the impact factor journals. But so far, like the journal being indexed in the Web of Science, they usually put like the impact factor things. So the journal index under the scopus, they call it like side score or SNIS, source normalized SNP, source normalized impact factor. So the moment we set a criteria, like you have to publish in the impact factor journals.
Yes. Actually,
theoretically, is it right, or like
actually, impact factor is a specific term, and it is only specifically allocated to the journals which are available in the Journal Citations Reports. Only Web of Science. So all these metrics, all other metrics are different from this. So Journal Site Score from Scopus or SciMago rank or something else is a different metric. So sometimes you are bound to publish in the impact factor journals. For example, in our country, for sciences, it is compulsory that they must publish their articles in an impact factor journal. It is compulsory for them. In social sciences, it is not compulsory, but it is preferable for them. So all other metrics are different. So there are some fake websites which claim that they are also calculating an impact factor, but impact factor, the journal impact factor JIF is a copyrighted term. So all the rights are with the JCR of Web of Science, Clarivate Analytics.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like if we say like you have to publish in the impact factor journals, perhaps the term, if we refer it like this, that you need to publish in the Web of Science or the Scopus listed journal, then the second slot, if you publish in the impact factor journals, then you need to have like this impact factor. Or if you publish in the Scopus listed journal, then you need to have this rank like Q1, Q2, or whatever this sort of things.
So there are many other websites also which give some metrics, but the impact factor is only specific for JCR.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Dr. Anwar, in Pakistan, we commonly follow HJRS. Sir, please explain the process of
HJRS is a database maintained by our Higher Education Commission in Pakistan. So Higher Education Commission in Pakistan is a central government's body to maintain the quality of higher education in the country. So we have included here in that database all the impact factor journals as well as all the journals available in the Scopus. So we here in our country, normally for social sciences, we consider Scopus based journals also, but for sciences, it is compulsory for them to publish only in the impact factor journals.
Sir, I have another question.
Yes.
If we get published in a good journal, after that, how we use technology to make visible our work to get more citations?
Yes, it is very important question.
It's also common.
Yes, it is very important question that how to promote your research. So you must promote your research. The social media is always there. So social media is very popular in these days. So whenever you have published your article, you should share the link with other colleagues through WhatsApp, through Twitter, through Facebook, and through other platforms. And one of the most popular platform for researchers is ResearchGate. So you must have an account on ResearchGate, and all of the publications of yours must be available over that. You cannot put the full text of your article on ResearchGate. It is a violation of copyright. But you can give the information about your article, the title, author, and even abstract. You can put all these information on that, and anyone can request you through the platform of ResearchGate to get the full text copy of your article. So whenever they click a button over there, so you will receive an email. In this case, you can share the full text of your article. So there must be always must be the promotion activities after publishing. So in this case, you will have more citations on your articles.
Yes. So Google Scholar is also useful for
yes, Google Scholar is also useful. So we always recommend that every author should make his or her profile and maintain it on Google Scholar also. So Google Scholar is widespread in use by the researchers of the world.
We are in time.
We have time in our hands. It's all right. You can continue another 5 minutes. It's supposed to be like 2:40. Yeah.
Devendra, you have also very good research profile. Share some tips with us.
Actually,
I'm really keen to listen, Dr. Mahmood, because I have been like following him since my student life. But meanwhile, I see all of his publications, the activities he conducts over there, and I often talk with my colleague in Bangladesh. Like we have some senior colleagues here.
Yes.
I often talk with them.
Yes, sir. Sir, I endorsed Dr. Anwar. He asked me about you in 2011 in Malaysia. Every time he is like your follower.
So actually we live in the global village nowadays, and we are here always available on the social media also. So we can share in a very easy way these days that what kind of research we are doing, and we can share our experiences with each other. So like this platform today, so we are finding it easy.
I want to add one thing. I want to give the credit of systematic reviews. Anwar, we don't know about systematic reviews like 5 years back, but Dr. Khalid introduced this concept, this kind of methodology in articles, and now even our students are getting published in good impact factor journal, and their systematic reviews are published. I strongly recommend that we should arrange some talk with Dr. Khalid about how to write an impressive systematic review, because he started this trend in our discipline in Pakistan, and we all are writing on this subject.
Oh, great! Definitely, Moshini. Next round, perhaps.
So normally it is the field of medicine or field of hard sciences that they do the systematic review. So when I was in Saudi Arabia with my friends Mr. Shakil and Mr. Ajmal, I can see that Mr. Ajmal has joined us from Saudi Arabia. So I learned this technique in those days, and now I am a torchbearer of this concept in Pakistan specifically, and specifically for the field of social sciences. So I am spreading this concept in the field of social sciences, and many of our colleagues have successfully published very good quality systematic reviews. So anytime in future, inshallah, we will share our ideas with you anytime. So okay, if there is no question, then I think we should start the next presentation.
I have one comment.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Yes,
We
yes,
are
Mr.
happy to
Ajmal.
see you.
Mr. Ajmal,
I am Mahmood Khan.
yes.
I really, this opportunity, our Netaji told me, Mr. Shakil, I really happy. I learned a lot from this, but I have just one comment about the review process. If one managed to get APC, arrange a APC,
Yes.
the whole 12-month process will be completed in a 1 month.
It depends. No, Mr. Ajmal, it depends on the nature of the journal. So journal to journal, they have a different policy. So some journals are they are charging money, a lot of money. So they are charging a huge price from the author. So they will make it easy for the authors to get it published in a short while or in a short span of time. So sometime it is easy and sometime it is not. It depends on the journal. So let's see. So what kind of journal we have experiences. See, we all sitting here in this workshop, we all have different kinds of experiences with the journals. So it depends on the journal's policy. But money makes the things easier. It is always it is always there. So I think no one can deny that money is always making things easy for everyone.
Ajmal sir, they still have some like criteria despite the APC.
Yes. It depends. It
No,
depends.
actually, I am not, discussing quality because, with the impact factor frontiers and MDP and MDPI and others, there are the Cuba journal. But if one just like a Malakrias, if you just
Yes.
No, sir. This is not for Malak Riaz. This is for Sir Ajmal, who is from KSA,
So money-
not from
money-
Dr.
So money is always needed and money is always useful. So no one can deny that. No one can deny that.
it expedite the process.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In most of the cases.
And thank you so much, sir. It's a like pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Anwar, over to you.
Thank you, Noshi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Mahmood, for your wonderful talk and experience you shared with us. Like as I said earlier, the moment I mean, to see some of your videos, the way you basically create value for the community is really amazing. That I often talk with my students here.
Thank you very much.
The number of publications you have in your career, which is like amazing from social science context. Thank you, Professor Mahmood, for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you all, friends.